Many of us go to the doctor for an annual health checkup, but when it comes to our relationships, we can wait until it's far too late to get help. So what are the signs your relationship needs a checkup and how do you do it? Let's ask psychotherapist and counsellor Melissa Ferrari. Welcome back to Studio 10.
Hello, thank you for having me.
So how long do couples wait before actually going to get a bit of a checkup on their relationship?
Well, generally it's about 6 years.
Oh, wow.
That's research says that some couples will wait up to 6 years before they'll actually go and see somebody when they're in trouble.
It can be dire by the time 6 years has rolled around.
It can be.
Try 20. John and I waited 20.
Really?
Yeah, to go and... You know how one of the things is when you're arguing the same... you repeat the same argument. And we were repeating this same argument, and then it's just like, oh, maybe we should go see someone. So 20 years after the event, yeah.
Really?
It was terrifying.
That's such good news. It is. It is a very, very difficult process, but it's a worthwhile one because sometimes when you're having arguments over and over, you think that that's normal. It's like this is just what we do. But when you've got someone looking outside in, they can intervene and change it for you.
We just want to look at the 5 warning signs that your relationship might need a checkup. If your relationship has no intimacy, if you're having the same arguments, as you mentioned, over and over again, if you've stopped listening to each other, if you're leading separate lives, and if you're tempted to flirt. So they're the warning signs. That last one, if you're tempted to flirt with someone else, does that mean your relationship is pretty much doomed, that it's over, or you're looking for something?
Are you asking for a friend?
I don't have time for anything at the moment. So is that a really worrying sign?
Well, it usually means that you are missing something.
Right.
You know, and it usually means that your partner somehow is maybe turning away from you. They're not paying attention. The biggest thing, if I was to have a gold nugget around relationships and what gets couples into trouble, it's about not paying attention. We stop paying attention to each other, and so next thing you know, somebody might be thinking about flirting or having an affair and all of these kind of things that we wonder, how did we ever get here? So sometimes if you are tempted to flirt, it's worth going back to your partner and actually talking to them about it and saying, what are we missing?
But is like just talking to one another enough, or do you think it's better to just bite the bullet and pay someone to sit and listen?
I really think that depends on the relationship, Denise. If you two are the kind of couple that have created that safety and security, that you're able to do that, well then fine, have a chat and bring things up. But if you find it's going to get into the same old groove of the same old argument, well then it's better to bring in a professional, particularly a couple therapist that's trained fully in couple therapy. It's a really good idea.
Now, you've got 2 questions that you recommend couples ask each other.
Yes.
What are they? What the first one is?
Well, it's things like, and I even recommend it daily, you know, we're talking about a health checkup. And I know we don't get health checkups daily, but checking in on your relationship every day in a way that says, are we okay? Are we all good?
So the questions are, do I make you happy?
Yes.
And what can I do to improve? Wow, God, imagine if your partner asked you that every day.
And
you would be happy.
Yeah, that's right. And well, you would be. And it's sort of the spirit of the questions, you know, that I'm inquiring and I'm curious and I'm wondering what's going on for you, because we're all looking for that kind of validation.
Every 3 months you say that you should ask these 3 questions, or every month or so I should say. Are you happy with our sex life? Are you okay with our finance plans?
God.
And what can I do better with the kids? Wow.
Oh my God, if I asked John if he was happy with our sex life, well anyway, that's just
You
my
would be here.
thing.
But you might be in a place where that quite suits you both, you know, like when we're asking questions about our sex life, you know, they say that generally couples are happy if they have sex once a week. That's the statistics, right? But for some who have a higher libido or a lower libido, we can assume, you know, I've heard in my office where a wife might say he likes to have sex every single day. And he'll just say, hang on a minute, that's actually not true. So we can have a belief in our mind around what our partner likes, but unless we check it out, you've got nothing to really go up against and say, oh no, hang on, you're not needing it every day. Maybe we could only
What
do
is
it.
the golden number? Like, what's the average? What are we supposed to be?
Well, it's such a funny question, and I'm really careful to just say what I think it is. They say couples are generally happy once a week. That's the research. Being a couple therapist, I'd probably agree that to be about right.
It depends.
Do we need a male on this panel to agree?
Don't you think it as well? It depends on the stage of life you're at, because when you first and stage of relationship you're at as well, because
absolutely,
when you first get together, you barely come up for breath, and then it kind of settles down and that type of thing. It's really interesting the kind of the three of us on the panel, we're all at different stages, because I'm in a new marriage. You've been with John for 3 decades. And
I'm experiencing new.
Yes,
lovely.
Yeah. So it's just very interesting what different.
And we're
thoughts.
hairy, you're not hairy. it's a crazy mix of people.
That's called Tinder, darling.
That's diversity. That's diversity for you.
Yeah.
But kids, when they come along, it does affect. So what's your advice to new couples, going through that?
Checking in with each other, because sometimes one of you can be really feeling bad. We're not having sex very often, and then when you actually check in, it's like, darling, I'm fine. It's all good. I understand we've got children and a new baby, and that we can't be doing that like we did in the beginning, because in the beginning you've got all the hormones and everything going through the body, so you're technically propped up. You've got a really great prop that's like drugs, and that goes.
Is it? Had someone said to me, a psychiatrist said to me, that when you're first in love, it's similar to having a brain injury, that you're just so caught up with it all.
You are. Some say under MRIs that it can look like you're actually on a drug.
Oh, wow.
And it's that powerful. And we know the feeling. It's a very, very powerful feeling, but it doesn't last. And that's when you've got to bring it back. By
some
paying
people
attention.
need that all the time,
Yeah,
don't they?
well, some do. Exactly, and that's something to look at.
Oh, you're fantastic. Melissa Ferrari, thank you so much for your excellent tips on saving our relationship.